releases, you notice it moves to the right here on me and left on you. This is the reflector, and now these three rotors can be lifted out. And now they would have to do this every day at exactly midnight. Any messages after midnight. If you'd like to take a look at these rotors, here they are. You'll notice that one side has a flat 26 connections. The other side is spring-loaded. Yeah. And they all have a serial number 1, 2, and 3. I don't have 4 and 5. But if you take a look at the way these things are made, see the keys? The base of this is a stainless steel rod, very nicely made, and you can see what it's doing here. This moves the rotors. It just ratchets it, and only the one on the left will move. These others will move only if the notch is in the right place, because that notch is what engages this thing to, or this one to go. And if you look down at the bottom, there's a serial number stamped in the bottom that matches the serial number here, 12760. It was built in 1941, which is what that 41 means. JLA is one of the manufacturing locations in Berlin, so I know which manufacturing location. And based on the serial number, I know this was made in September of that year. And so, as an operator, you're told which order to put these wheels in. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed this, there's a little eagle and swastika symbol there. This is an inspection stamp, so every individual rotor has an inspection stamp, as well as the machine itself, which has one on the case here. And by the way, the battery is in here. I just put 2 AA batteries in instead of the big rectangular German battery. So it normally takes a 4.5 volt battery, and 2 AA's is 3 volts. So the lights are really underpowered. But the nice thing about that is that I've never had to replace any of these bulbs.
Yeah.
So then you put them in order. So you notice a nice fit here. So this is number 3, here's number 1, and there's number 2. Put them in this way with the spring-loaded contact up against this solid contact. By the way, this is called the entry wheel. And one of the questions that the English asked of the Poland people in Poland that broke the code was, what was the order of the entry wheel, because that's another place that could have easily been switched. And the guy was very disappointed to hear that it wasn't switched at all. The A goes through as an A, the B goes through as a B, and they didn't bother switching the entry wheel. I think that what the Germans assumed was that some of these would be captured, and so it didn't really matter what that setting was. Okay, so if you notice, these things kind of push together like that, and you have to push them together in order to get them in here. And then you set them on this thing where...
What caused that springiness?
There's a spring inside each of these 26 things. There's a separate little, like a ballpoint spring, you know. And so then when you push this in, you notice this is pushing
Pressing all of them.
Yeah. I repaired one of these, by the way, for a guy that was missing this little thing here, and I found somebody that had one from a replica, completely black and pitted, and I paid $650 for that little metal piece right there to get an original piece instead of a replica piece, you know. Okay, and now it's in place. You got to make sure they're in a right indent, you know, they're thumb heeled in, and then when you press this, see it? I've never failed to have this thing work, you know. I mean, this thing is 70 years old, and and it just, and you feel free to push the keys. You can feel the German engineering, you know, that's in this, you know. It just works every time, you know.